Look at Finance is underwritten by Janney Montgomery Scott, trusted advisors for generations.
Welcome back to our special Halloween edition of A Look at Finance with Stephen Carleton, First Vice President, Janney Montgomery Scott. Not quite sure what makes it a special Halloween edition.
My orange tie, maybe.
Oh. Are you ready for trick-or-treaters tonight?
You know what? I am. It's a little wet and rainy out, but it's always a fun night.
You turn the lights off and pretend like there's nobody home.
No. I've already got the basket of chocolate bars, and worst case scenario, if they don't all get given out, I get to keep them. So
all right,
it's a win-win.
Guess we're going to the gym next week. Of course, let's get to the business at hand. It is our Look at Finance segment. Got some local stories. Of course, we'll take a look at the markets and some news out of the Eurozone on their continued unemployment woes. Of course, stories happening there have an impact here in the United States.
Absolutely.
So let's start at the top. We reported this last night here on Look News Inc. magazine, saying two local companies on their list of top 20 private business job creators in New York State. This is just continued proof that our area is bucking the trend when it comes to the rest of the state in employment.
Absolutely.
The two are Finger Paint Marketing, Smart Watt Energy. Obviously, we're familiar with Finger Paint Marketing in Saratoga. I'm not so sure about Smart Watt Energy. They're in Ballston Lake, but both adding multiple jobs over the last so many months.
It's nice to see, some of these local companies. I mean, we've been highlighting, Finger Paint and talking about them coming into Saratoga and, being right on Broadway now for quite some time. So this is a great acknowledgement for a local company who's doing things differently and really have. They've had one heck of a year this year.
Yeah, it's interesting that our area is just doing so well. We look at other parts of the state, as I said, you got west of Buffalo or down to the southern tier, Binghamton and Elmira, and those parts of the state, particularly the southern tier, are struggling. What's the secret, you think, to our success here?
It's funny. I was talking to somebody in Rochester just the other day about that exact thing, saying, what is it that we have that these other cities, whether it's Syracuse or Rochester or Buffalo, like you're saying, and really it's a combination of just a number of things all together. And we've talked about this, having the government here the way that they are, having the universities, having the technology, and having this mix really has made a big difference. And there's some great stories from some local small businesses making a difference. So. Yeah, it's just the right mix where a lot of the other cities just don't seem to have that. Don't
seem to have it. We're talking from small businesses to a local business that really wants to get big and quick.
Ambitious,
Ambitious. Dan Pickett's the CEO of a company called Infrastructure. It's an N and infrastructure. He's telling the Albany Business Review that over the next 5 years, he wants to grow his company from a $53 million venture to a $500 million venture. Now, this company builds computer systems, networks for companies like Global Foundries and stuff like that. That's an ambitious growth plan.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about doubling your company over a 5-year time frame, that's ambitious. But this is a massive growth rate, and he clearly has a laid out plan. I mean, this is a sector of the economy that's growing by leaps and bounds. In our own area, we've seen how technology has just been exploding, and so this is certainly a segment where it's possible to grow at these kinds of rates. And this is another example of a company that has grown, has hired a lot of local people, and so, yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah, looking to build a new headquarters in Malta. They're currently split between Clifton Park and Malta. Want to build a new headquarters in Malta. Obviously, a smart place to be. Their biggest client is Global Foundries.
I was going to say location, right?
You want your biggest client to be happy, and if they're giving you a call, to get there quickly to make sure things are working.
Yeah, there's no better spot.
All right, let's get on to the markets, of course. We're looking at the U.S. markets today. A lot of action on the markets. The S&P 500 making some big gains today. Talk to me about what's going on in the markets.
Yeah, so a lot of mixed signals this week. On Wednesday, yesterday, we had an intraday high where it was at 1775, the S&P. So that was the highest it's ever been during the day, pre-market close, after-market close. And then it closed lower. And so what we call that an outside day, where a new high and then a lower low to the previous day. That, a lot of technicians see that as a warning sign.
Okay.
The last time that happened, the market dropped 5 or 6%. We've had a lot of earnings come up, third quarter earnings. We had 314 companies report as of last night. About 213 of them beat. We had about 64 match, and the rest were lower than expected. So almost 2/3, in that 2/3 range, came out very, very positive. So overall, in spite of all the challenges we've had this quarter, some very overall positive news. But there's definitely a lot of concern with the overall market.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we were talking about the fact that a lot of these analysts were looking to next year's profit earnings to really, dictate what's going on in the markets right now. But a lot of these companies are coming in and actually showing that they actually did all right this year.
Yeah, and that's what we were looking for. We wanted to see that the earnings and the revenue did line up. And like you're saying, when we're looking going forward, we're not as concerned with what they did the last quarter. We're looking to see what they're going to do the first quarter. And so, yeah, everyone's looking first quarter, looking out into 2014. And, we're looking at energy prices, oil. Oil has been dropping down to the point now where it's below $97 a barrel. That brings us back to July of last year. So that's a huge, headwind that's kind of getting less and less resistance on the stock market. So that's helpful to the consumer. It's helpful for business. And that'll help the economy, no doubt, in the future.
As talking about oil prices, oil company BP posting some positive earnings, helping to bolster the European markets, all the European markets, I think the majority closing up today.
Yeah, Europe is not out of the woods yet. The biggest story with Europe has really been the people under 25 that have not been able to find work. The people in Greece, the people in Portugal and Spain, where you're talking north of 40% unemployment. The unemployment numbers in Europe are coming in at 12.2%. That's, when we think here it's 7.2, that's quite high.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot more left to do. The U.S. seems to be a little bit stronger overall.
Yeah, and getting into those unemployment numbers, the number of unemployed, the 17-nation Eurozone, that's what Stephen was referring to, hitting a record high in September. As you said, 12.2%. That's a massive amount of population just to be out of work.
And really what it is we're seeing people slower to retire, and we're seeing young people not being able to find work. It really is that 25 and under that are not finding gainful employment. Germany looks good. Germany, we're right around the 10% mark, but the rest of the European Union, not anywhere near as good. So that's a real headwind. The U.S. is very dependent on, European market for trade. So we need to see that getting stronger and healthier, and that's not the kind of news we're hoping for. But, earnings guidance, forward-looking stuff, we're hoping that that keeps going, and 2014 is a new year. So we'll be watching to see what Christmas and these kinds of things for retail sales are going to look like.
Getting into that season, Halloween today, Christmas already. The stores have Christmas trees eclipsing the Halloween.
I couldn't
items.
believe it. Yeah.
Hey, really quickly, I was up at Michelle Riggy's house today.
Oh, chocolate!
We got one of her chocolate bars. It's the Michelle Riggy chocolate bar. I wanted to open it here to see if we got a special golden ticket.
Ooh,
so
nice.
we haven't opened this yet. Yeah, $100. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Can I have some of that chocolate?
You definitely can, because we do not have a golden ticket.
No golden ticket.
No golden ticket. No money from Michelle.
You look sad, David.
Hey,
all right, right after this, we're going to have some chocolate, and I'll be happier.
All right. Stephen Carleton, First Vice President, Janney Montgomery
Thank you.
Scott. Happy Halloween. And to see this segment and all our segments, head to the website. It's looktvonline.com. We post it there each and every week.